Hey guys, reporting to you, minor miracle. What's the obsession? And again, wait till you hear this one. And I've got a story for you that I can't remember if I've shared with you or not. I need to just let me show you something before I do anything, okay? So I'm like, gonna come home after work. I get done, I usually get home, I don't know, school is done for me. The kids leave at like 8 after 3. And then I usually pick my son up at practice at 5:30. So I usually stay at work and just do paperwork or whatever until then. So, and then I pick my kid up and like try to, make dinner, take care of the bunnies. Oh, I promise you some baby bunnies. I'm going to have to grab them in a minute, but I'll show you the little baby bunnies that were born just a couple minutes before the last live. And I haven't eaten dinner or taken a shower, obviously. So I came home to, let's just see if we can see some of this mess here. Okay, this is just like a little bit of here's like there's the TV and all the modems here. You see these tools, the electric tape, the whatever this is called, the adjustable wrench to get the coaxial cable undone. So here's my story. So I'm so happy to be with you, and I'm gonna say hi really quick to Mama Jane D. Hi there. Tiger Girl, True Seeker last name, Joan Bradley. Hello. Thanks for coming a member, darling. Seeking the Truth with Dave. Hi, Dave. Long time no see, my friend. Let's see who else I've got here. And scroll up. Sugar Bee. Hi, Sugar Bee. And let's see. Bree Grant. Hi, Bree. How you doing, sweetie? Who else? Hey, anyone who sees True Gypsy, let True Gypsy know she won the drawing for the for the subscriber and member appreciation drawing last live. So I've got to get a hold of her to get her Venmo info. So it's really exciting. So hi, everybody. So, okay, so, all that happened. Let me go get the remote to turn off this TV. I'll be right back. So it's not a glare for you guys. You know what? Can't find that either. Don't care. I'm just going to turn myself so we don't waste any more time. So, okay. So now, there's possibly many reasons. I've had some difficulties when trying to go live. Perhaps it's the fact that I am not as digitally inclined as some other people are. Although, I was, as I've shared with many of you, a teacher during this whole coronavirus thing, and some of the digital feats that we had to pull off really quick without being trained for were pretty substantial. So I have worked in telecom. I never really considered myself to be like technically inept. So here's a story. And again, I can't remember if I've shared this with you guys, but I think it's worth telling again. So, some people have said that some strange things have happened. Hi, Carrie or Karen 56. How are you? And Angelica. Oh, I can't read that right now because I'm on my little computer. It's too far, but hello. Hi, Sharon. And there's Joan again. Awesome. So happy to see all you guys. So I think I've told the story enough times that I started this channel, sometime in May. I had been following the Watts case for a while, not since day one. But wasn't a Netflix newbie. I was going to talk about that term a little bit tonight because it kind of drives me crazy. But I've been following the Watts case and knew when the Netflix documentary was coming. I was really excited for it. And I guess I didn't think it was as horrible as some people did, but I noticed the very clear absence of material about NK. I mean, the way that it was marketed, I didn't really see it being marketed is, Shanann's perspective. So I was expecting that there was going to be some, like some more juicy material, and there wasn't. So that was a little disappointing, but it's a perspective and it was what it was. So, I'm fine with it. I've watched it a couple times. It's fine. Every time I watch it, I forget about parts of that documentary that exists. I'm like, oh, well, that was a little bit interesting. I don't know. Anyway, I didn't want to get into that too much. But so I started working on this channel. I was done with grad school at the point I was working on my first video. So I just like, set up the channel, hadn't put any content out or anything like that. And I was getting really close to completing my first video. At the same time, I still had to take one of the exams that I had to pass for my certification towards being certified as a special educator in New York. And I was, kind of finishing up the video. It was a 5-minute video. If any of you seen it on my channel, it's one about, the shadow. It's, where I personally didn't see the ponytail. That was just my thing. And I just, was kind of testing out, can I actually make a video? Yes or no, who knows? So I was getting really close to finishing it. I was planning on posting it that night. So it's like 1:30 in the morning. I'm just wrapping things up because I'd been studying as well. And I had an exam planned for 10 a.m. the next morning. It's about an hour drive away. Okay. So I'm just, really getting close to the end of this video. And, where I'm sitting right here, it's my living room, and the front door it just basically opens up into it. So I hear ding, 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 the doorbell. Now, when I used to live in Center City, Philadelphia. And when I lived there, if somebody came to my door at that hour, for most of the time I lived there, it would not be a strange thing to me. I lived right off of a very busy street where there was a lot of activity. It could be anyone. It could be a friend. It could be one of my friends stumbling home from the bars, which were on that very busy street that I lived about 20 yards from. Who knows? It wouldn't have been weird. But where I live now in upstate New York, to have someone ring my bell at that hour was super weird. So I immediately was scared. So I got up and, walked over to the door. While I'm walking over to the door, I hear ding, 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 ding again. So, I'm approaching the door. I'm very close to the door. And I said, was scared, said, my son's picking on me. Get that door. Can you shut that door, by the way? And he's heard this story, unfortunately, a few times. You're pretty awesome for not being scared about that story. So, I get up to the door and I'm like, who is it? And it's just like dead silence. And now this is after ring, 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 ring a few times. As soon as I get close to the door, silent. So I'm like, I'm not going to open the door. I was really I was terrified to the core of me, which, would that event on its own usually scare me that much? I don't know. All I know is I felt this really like deep, deep, deep fear and dread. So I can see your shadow.
Can you say the joke I made?
What's the joke? I don't know, because maybe I can say I don't know.
Maybe, that's what I'm saying.
You gotta know your audience before you throw a joke out. Tell you the joke maybe in private. So just as I started to turn away from the door, because it was silent for like, I don't know, I'm estimating maybe 2 minutes at that point, I hear ding, 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 ding. Oh my gosh. Because when I was standing at the door and nobody said anything, you know how you can just like sense somebody's there, right? Or something is there. I felt that really strongly. So now my heart's like really pounding. And just as I started to turn away, ding, 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 and it didn't stop. So luckily I knew where my cell phone was. I picked it up. I went and called probably 911. I don't remember. Yeah, because I wouldn't have taken the time to look up my local police. And I went back by I went back where my son was. I was shaking. I could hardly talk. I've had to call the authorities for various things in my life that were, kind of scary events. I had never in my life felt that level of fear when I was, calling, I wanted someone to respond, see what was up. I would not let the dispatch get off the phone with me while they were sending someone out here. And I just remember being like, are they close? Are they close? Are they close? I was absolutely flipping out. And it just felt like a more fear maybe than was like rational at the moment, but I didn't feel I was being irrational. I really felt that fear. Okay, so cops respond. They're like, that's really strange because it's a really quiet night out. We don't like know what's going on. And, you know, this hasn't happened to me before. You know, my son is almost 13. You know, his friends will play like ding dong ditch or whatever, like during daylight or evening hours, like when he's out with them. Like, this is not, I don't have people like bothering my front door, like ever. So I'm a mess. I'm nervous. I'm just like adrenaline, you know. So I finally get to the point that evening where I was about to just lay down and go to bed. Now, mind you, that video that I almost had finished that I was going to post that evening, I was just like, I'm done. I'm going to, you know, do these couple things I have to do to be ready for my exam tomorrow. Then I've really got to go to bed. This is out of control. So I'm just about to finally get in that state of mind where I can fall asleep. It's 3:37 in the morning to be exact. And I hear ding, 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 ding. Oh my gosh. I'm surprised I didn't pee myself. It was just like the scariest thing, guys. And, you know, prior to that happening, and honest to God, it was when I did start working on these videos, I had just noticed some weird things happening. I hadn't told this story at all. I know that I told some of you this story because some of you had mentioned that something weird had happened to Christina Randolph, who I like very much. I catch her super sporadically. But, you know, in the chat, when you guys were talking about it, you know, you kind of were mentioning like something like that's why she stopped really, you know, covering much of the Watts case. It scared her so much. So I did go back and find those videos. And when I was watching her talk about the strange occurrences that she had going on when she was working on the Watts case, it really just like chilled me to the bone. I had that same kind of like panic, like heart palpitation, that same kind of fear that I felt that night when someone rang on my door. You know, I mean, has anyone had this happen to them? I'm looking at chat. Going back to work. Woohoo. Oh, woo. Back to work. Oh, Dave, I saw your vacationing. It was beautiful. So I don't know. See, it's scary. Do you have a dog? Because they hear things. No, I have a lot of freaking bunnies. But you know what I do have down here now? I'm going to show you, and this is why. Now, listen, I was, you know, born into a Catholic family. I've never really, you know, after childhood was much for the religion. This scared me to the point where I now have a crucifix down here. Like, I'm not even kidding. This is an addition. This is because of the fear that I felt on several occasions when, you know, I don't know. I don't even like, I'm a little scared even talking about it. So I don't know. So, Dave, when do you go back to work tomorrow? Yeah, I did see her video. I saw her video, Joan, and when I saw it, I just felt like, whew. She didn't, at least the video I saw of hers, and you tell me if there's more, because I would love to see it. You know, she didn't mention anything like super specific about what happened, but I mean, I'm even thinking about reaching out to her and asking her, you know, if we had some specifics along the same lines happen, because man, that was freaking, I don't know, guys. Just scared. It's scary. Hey, Aussie girl, Jen, how you doing? Yeah, so I saw those videos. So, yep. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Yeah, it was a scary story. And I'm sorry if that, I don't know, I know some people have beliefs where they don't even like want to hear that kind of thing. So if that's the case for any of you and you weren't expecting that story, I really do apologize, but I don't know, man. We have cross in every room. Yeah, I'm thinking about too. Your grandma did too. Let's see, Missy. Hi, Missy. How are ya? Let's see. It was her reaction. Oh, Christine's right. Yeah, that's what I saw from Christine Randolph. That the video that I saw, she was just like, I'm done, you know. Yeah, that kind of scared me. And I've heard just randomly, or not randomly, but I've heard little bits here and there about like other weird things happening. So, okay, so to my point of this evening, you know, so I've been planning this live Saturday. My kid gets hurt. I have to go get him checked out. You know, it's just been like, come home today. I've had bunnies for years. Have they ever chewed through the coax cable? Nope. Not till today. You know, it's just weird. I don't know, man. It's just weird. Just weird. So, hi, Debbie. How you doing? You haven't met, well, I'm just telling scary stories. That's all. Or maybe you don't want to hear, hi Kristen, how you doing? Maybe you don't want to hear that scary story. Yeah, there's definitely, Mama Jane B says there's definitely evil energy around this case. And I mean, honestly, like, you know, I do feel that way. You know, and I've told all of you guys, I didn't start even really looking into this case until it was like 6-9 months, like after this tragic event happened. I don't know what was so off-putting to me. Obviously, the details are horrendous, atrocious, egregious, disgusting. I mean, it's a hard story to stomach, period, right? But, you know, my entire life have, you know, if I was, you know, a kid these days or recently, I would have been someone who liked that creepy pasta and Slender Man stuff. I was always that kind of a kid, that kind of a person, you know, ever since. I remember I would stayed at a friend's house when I was in 4th grade, and we watched like Stephen King. We watched Pet Sematary and some other horror story my parents never would have let me watch. And I was like, let me go back to Amanda's house where the scary stuff is. I just loved it. So I've always been very like attracted to mystery and thrilling things and, you know, suspense. But this is beyond what I'm really too interested in. Christmas girl, how's it going? It's getting to a full moon. It is that too. And thanks for joining as a member, Sugar Bee. Thank you so much. It is getting to a full moon. There was a beautiful moon out last night. Oh, my hair. Thank you, Christmas girl. I was just saying I haven't had a chance to take a shower or eat dinner, which were 2 things I was planning on doing by now, because I was trying to fix this mess, evidenced by my girl tools. But, you know, I'm just going to have to call. I'm all hot spotted up now. I forgot you could do that. So. All right. So Joan Bradley. Oh God, Lord, when you're gonna say, I can anticipate what you're gonna say, Joan. I'm wondering if NK could have brought evil out with the spells that cause you to be. Yeah, I definitely think that. So there's several levels on which NK brings the badness. I think, like, you know, this very like literal human like relationship aspect where she's not mentally well. Can we agree on that? I think we can all agree on that. She clearly is one who fosters unhealthy relationships, and yeah, there's just all kinds of not healthy about her. And interesting about NK is, so I think something I have shared with you guys is I have an extensive background in yoga. I studied yoga in my late teens and early 20s and have been, you know, I've been teaching for 20 years, a little over 20 years. I've always like had a yoga studio and whatnot going on. It's like, it's my thing. Even more than true crime or anything else I've done, that's my thing. It's my love. So, gosh, interesting about NK. So I know that she was like into yoga and all that stuff, or was like trying to be into those things. You know, her embodiment, like the way that we can see evidence of like how she's like kind of lived her life, to me is not really like the yogic way, but no one in the Western world really lives like the yogic way. Yoga is something that was developed in the East very long ago. It's based on these ancient texts called the Vedas, the Rig Veda, it's not meant necessarily for someone in our society during our time to be able to live that lifestyle to the T. it's just like a mismatch, you know, but there's really virtuous teachings of yoga, and the lifestyle recommendations are healthy no matter who you are, no matter where you live. So this is good. So we do our best with it. And, you know, when I teach yoga, this is like what I tell people, like, you don't have to be all or nothing. You don't have to pretend to be something you're not. It's just that, you know, I can tell you that I've never had a person take a yoga class with me and been like, oh man, I didn't get anything out of that. Everyone, no matter who you are, get something beneficial out of it. Okay. So there's that. So NK, you know, a lot of the things she does, you know, it kind of stems from her trying to live this yogic lifestyle, right? So if you guys would indulge me, if you could just write 1 or 2 words. I'm a little nervous with you, Dave. Feel free though. I love hearing Dave talk about NK. It's like one of my greatest joys in life. If like there's like a couple things you could say about NK that we know about NK that characterize her, like, is she honest? Is she sweet? Is she loving? Is she motherly? Would you mind writing in the chat a word or 2 that you think sums up NK? Because then I'm going to tell you a little bit about, yeah. Oh, thank you. Thanks, Tiger Girl. So, let's see, she creeped me out when she was walking out. Oh, she's... Okay, guys, so what do we know about NK? Tell me, come on. Give me some words. Give me some words, because I'm gonna shock you right now. On a very small scale, not really relevant to this case sense. Untrustworthy? Yeah, for sure. Thank you. Salon Savvy 64, and hey there. Narcissistic and evil. Yeah, I think that may be some of the problem. I don't know. She's dishonest. Yes. Thank you. Sweet and salty. Hi there, by the way. Overconfident. Yeah. Oh, Matt Willis, that was such a nice way to say that. You're a sweet pie. Liar. Controlling. I love it. So, you know, she has that business, Satya Consulting. Toxic. Hi, Natalie Hawkins. And yes, absolutely. So she has that business, Satya Consulting. I know some people have talked about it in their videos. I know I saw Dave talked about it recently. So Satya is a Sanskrit word. Sanskrit is a language of yoga. So all of the postures in yoga, everything about yoga is Sanskrit. It's this ancient language. And in Sanskrit, they believe very strongly that words have energy, that sound has energy, that, you know, just saying a word itself, things are not named what they are arbitrarily. It's very intentional. And the name of things, or what you call things through our spoken language in Sanskrit, matches up to the energy or the essence of that thing. You know, does that make sense? So Satya Consulting was her business, right? In Sanskrit, Satya means like truthfulness, honesty, but there's not like a direct English translation, but Satya is like the highest, most like revered, sacred, held in a sacred way, truth. I couldn't even. When I saw that that was the name of her business, I was like, I don't know. If you were to Google the name, you'd probably see something like this. Satya equates with like honesty or truthfulness, but the real essence of the word is like the highest level of truthfulness. So yes, needy, totally. Cold. Oh, these are all, yeah, those are all so NK. No nice words, right? I know. So isn't that ironic that all of us agree on all of these, you know, descriptive words of NK, yet her business name was the highest truth in the Sanskrit language? I don't know. This girl is so bleeped up. I just don't even know what to tell you. She trying to convince herself, Mama Jane D, I think absolutely, right? That's like a thing. That's a thing in psychology when people are what they embody, what they show through their actions, not in alignment with what it is they aspire to be, they will over narrate their own story, like as if saying they are what they are not is going to convince people, you know. So benevolent. So benevolent means good, like doing good, right? Like malevolent would be bad, mal, right? So hypocrite, dirty. Oh yeah, dirty empeñada. Ooh, oh, and Joan, yes. You and I have to chat, Joan, and I'm thinking that I've got your number. How about tomorrow at like 3:30 or 4? Would that work for you? Because like all the things I explained, and school year just started. I took the day off yesterday because I had a stomach bug. Like this past few days has been like laden with like, what? Hi, Oklahoma Girls Kitchen. Manipulating is probably the word. Heck yeah. She is living a total lie. Yeah. No, yeah, don't say right now. We can speak in private for sure. Yeah, definitely. So, okay. So, now I'm going to get into a little bit of what I have had planned for this live all along, but I'm not going to be able to get into all of it because of my technical difficulties, because I have a lot of prepared material that, you know, I want to show you along with it. So what I am going to do, let me just give me a moment here, chat amongst yourselves. Let's see. Oh, yes. Oh, my gosh. And I have to attend to the Facebook group that I started. Yes, I have to get over there, too. Okay. Let's see. Did this upload for me? Ooh. Okay, so I do have a little bit. I'm going to give you a preview of my next video. It's still uploading from my other computer. Let me grab it. See what's taking so long. Probably because we're all in hotspots down here. 75% complete. Okay. Let's see. Uploading file. Let me just make sure this one's still connected. Thank you guys for bearing with me. You're just the most wonderful, awesome people. And I feel this like live thing, rescheduling it. I'm very sorry that I do that. And I've been doing it this weekend. It's been one week. It's been one thing after another. And it is my intention to get better about that. So keep uploading, please. Let's see here. So Dave, if you're still there, where'd you go on vacation, by the way? That looked beautiful, beautiful, gorgeous pictures. Oh, bunnies, yes. Your daughter was sick to her stomach, Joan. Oh, you know what? Nancy N, who is moderator on my channel too, I texted her earlier and she said that oh good, this is self-loading, heard a lot of people having a stomach bug. So maybe there is something going around. You know, whenever kids go back to school, that's for sure a thing. Aussie Girl Jen, damage. Oh, I love it. We're still coming up with the dirty empanada words. Yeah. Do you remember the email? Yes. Yeah. Oh, that's a good one, Angelica. You know what? And this is actually going to be a good segue into what I'm talking about. So she says, oh, you know what? I can pin this stuff. I keep forgetting. Moderators, always, if you would like to, oh, hold it. I got to look at this on YouTube so I can pin it. Just a minute here. Let's see. View on YouTube, right? Let me hop over there. There we go. I'm learning the stuff. I am. Thank you for learning with me. Or let's see. Okay, so view on YouTube. Maybe we won't do that. Close that. Okay. So, okay, here, let me go on. Let me do it from this computer. I wonder what my data charge is going to look like. I'm on two hotspots on two phones right now to do this. It's okay. I miss you guys. So yeah, so despite things not functioning so well, I definitely want to go live tonight because I've planned it for a while. I miss you guys. And I do have some stuff to talk with you about, no matter what. Okay. Yeah, so if anyone's here who's a moderator, if you want to pin any comments, go ahead and please feel free to. Oh, yeah. So I'm not connected to the internet. That's why. No, yeah. Right, Aussie girl, love to punch on camera. I know. I've said this to you guys and, whomever I've talked to. I just, I don't know what it is that woman. I just, I really, we all have bad feelings about people, right? But I make it a conscious point to, not carry more bad feelings around than is necessary, if any are necessary at all. I think really maybe the goal is to not carry bad feelings around about others and, never about somebody that I don't know, like a total stranger. Even people that have, I've had really poor interactions with or in life. I try to process through the negative feelings, as completely and quickly as I can. Like, it's part of being human, right? It's fine. But with her, man, she's just not good. Not good. All right, let me close this before it gets me into trouble. All right. Okay, just give me one moment here so I can get into behind the scenes. So I guess a question I have for you guys is, do you feel like something is going to be happening with NK? I mean, I know from like several different angles, we're hearing these little buzzes, right? Like there was a creator on recently saying that there was a, recording from Tammy Lee. I know there have been other creators. I'm just being careful what I say because I don't know how much anyone would want me to say. There's some other creators that, have been working really hard, and do you not dare chew that wire, Junior. You a fat bunny. Go away. Okay, I shamed him. That have some interesting things going on. And I have a few things I want to share with you too. Do you guys feel that buzz? Do you guys feel like something is going to be happening with NK? Or, do you feel like, and it's okay, I belief I have on my channel is, please don't be mean to people. Please don't say anything like hateful or vile. And, barring those things, I want people to feel comfortable to say what they want to say. How do you pin a comment? Okay, so Mama Jane D, over to the right of the person. Let's see. Lawyer DA is now irrelevant. Okay, I'm sorry. Oh, I just started reading some comments. Do you remember, Cena? I believe I want to pin this. I'm going to pin a comment right now of Angelica's, so leave it up for a minute. So if you look over to the right of a person's name in chat, and you click on those three little dots, there's going to be various options. So this is definitely good for moderators to know if you don't know. So you can pin a comment. You can remove a comment. So let's see. I just pinned Angelica's comment because I love that. And segues into what I'm going to talk about a little bit tonight. You can report, remove, put user in timeout, hide user, or add as the moderator. I can add as a moderator. I would like to reserve that for myself. I don't know if you guys have that option or not. But always suggest moderators. I love that. All good suggestions so far. Okay. So let's see. Okay, that's almost uploaded. All right. So, I told you that, I had, and on as far as really interesting or groundbreaking news coming from this source, what I feel I've gotten more of, and I'm talking about my friend Alex, who's an attorney, and in addition to his for-profit work, does some pro bono work. I've talked about that in previous chats. If you want to know anything more about it, you can ask me, 'cause people are probably bored hearing about the details. As far as what, I've gained from talking to him, he finally agreed to even take a look at this case. It was just a few weeks ago, after I had been asking him to for a really long time. So I just thought that was kind of cool. I just noticed a few shifts like that were moving in the right direction. Not saying having anything to do with, anything I've done. In fact, I was very much inspired by some of the work that Red X and Seeking the Truth with Dave had done. I felt it was very convincing, particularly to somebody who wasn't already kind of going down that road like many of us are. And I thank them very much for the inspiration to go back and sort of, beg him to look at things again. So he finally did, without promises of anything. In fact, he does not really even enjoy the fact that I discuss any of this on YouTube. So I do want to be respectful of that as well. Let's see. Oh, thank you. Life happens, Kelly. I'm just reading these comments. So the territory. Yeah. Yes. So I'm going to come right back to a couple things Alex said. Rather than, illuminating anything brand new for me, what he has more done for me is to validate some things that I or we or others were already thinking, but that maybe we didn't necessarily have the legal expertise to come to a solid conclusion. And I'll share those couple things with you in a moment after I read some comments here. Yeah. I love the NK words. Oh my gosh. I'm going to treasure this chat forever, guys. You're the best. So, just the NK words. We've got, oh my gosh. Controlling, liar, toxic, horrible voice. I know that. She'll do it again, psychopath. Putrid. Oh, was it Susie Spoon? First of all, adorable name. Second of all, excellent word I haven't heard yet in relating to her. But yeah, conniving. Hi, Kim and Kim Abby. And another word I haven't heard yet relating to her specifically. But yeah, for sure. And oh, hello, Mary Viola. And let's see, Needy, Aussie Girl Jen, hells yeah. Angelica says cold, controlling, manipulating, delusional. She's living a total lie, Sugar Bee. I think that sums it up perfectly. Arrogant, and this just goes on. And obviously the idea is not to just like trash the poor girl, but it's like, come on, law enforcement. Thank you guys for the nice compliments. Yeah, whole world is just off kilter lately. Yeah, it does seem, yeah. I feel like that a lot of times this time of year, every year. And I don't know if it's just because like I'm a teacher and school starting back up and it's like the mass insanity. It is for me. I work with students with serious behavioral problems and I have high schoolers and I have I don't know how much I should say. It's been a trip. I shouldn't say anything more because it's my job, but it's been a trip this year. That's for sure. Totally. Okay. So did you figure out how to pin a comment, guys, moderators who are new to this? NK will screw up again. Yeah. Yep. Haven't heard of bunny school forever. My one rabbit here, most of mine are minis. I have mini Rex and mini Lobs. But he's our one. The one of like hundreds we've had. He didn't get the mini gene, so he's a full-size Rex. And he's big anyway, but recently he's like gained a lot of weight. So I'm always like, Junior, you're fat. I'm obviously not being mean to him. I love the little guy to death. I mean, the big guy. But he's the one that's been chewing the wires. I'm sort of like worried, like, does he have like a medical condition? Like, how children will have pica, where they'll like want to like eat weird things, and sometimes it's a medical condition. Does he have like bunny pica? I don't know. I hope not. Love my bunnies. Okay, so Chris needs to tell the truth. Yeah, and what's up with that? Okay, so a few things. Empanada. So empanada, I'm going to spell it now. So before I was a special education teacher, I was a Spanish teacher. That's the kind of teacher I was. And then I went to special education because I just love my students in special education. I think that students with disabilities need champions, and I wanted to be one of them. So this is how you spell empanada. M-N yada. So I don't know how to make a tilde on my new MacBook, but the N would have that little squiggly thing over. It's called a tilde. So in Spanish, it makes the N, an N would be like N, it makes it nya, nya, like NY, nya. So it's empanada, empanada. So that's how we say in Spanish. All right. Christmas girls getting down, self-centered, self-serving, manipulative. Red X and Seeing Truth Dave are truly wonderful. Yes, they are. Yes, Sharon. They're both amazing. You can't pin comments, Joan? Oh, maybe I have to have you on as a different, there's like another level. I can have people, I don't have anyone assigned on that level because I don't even know what it means. But I will look into it because I would like all of my moderators to be able to pin comments. I trust you guys, for sure. Okay, so first of all, things that I talked about recently with Alex, the attorney. And now there's just one thing that I would love to share with you, but I'm just waiting. And again, it's not like huge or staggering news. I wish I could say I have that for you, but I wouldn't say it unless I had it. And I think it's critical announcement, or it's something critical that he's picked up on that I haven't heard anyone else pick up on. But I want us together to explore it thoroughly, because he's not at this time thinking that his group is going to take up this case. What he did say to me was, and now I think I told you guys before that a lot of times his pro bono group tends to work for the socioeconomically disadvantaged, which that's not who we're dealing with in this case. Yes, declaring bankruptcy a couple times, means you're some kind of economic disadvantage, but that's not a product of like built-in social prejudice. That might be a product of choices, we could say. So that's what they do tend to deal with. They do step outside of that footprint, but he just blatantly finally told me after he felt like he looked at things to the degree he needed to make this determination that it would be something that he and or his group would revisit after the normal legal remedies had expired. So my understanding of that is, like, for example, the 35C, the various post-conviction relief, which I'm not even terribly familiar with, to be honest with you. But he's interested now. So now he's looking at things and chatting about it with me, which is totally fine. And, even about getting involved after the normal legal remedies have expired, the only thing that he said, just being totally straightforward, is that would be the only time they would seriously start to consider it in this case, because it doesn't fit in with that built-in social prejudice group that's at an innate disadvantage in society. And then the possible legal issues, I guess, are not glaring enough. What he has had the biggest problem with, of course, is NK. It's some with the plea, not as much as I was hoping. Yes, NK is super entitled, and she is an actress. Oh. Angelica says, Debbie, I think if she was obsessed, this murders would be much better organized. Hold it, I've got to read back about that. Okay. Tiger, I got to see exactly what you guys are talking about here. That wasn't, I like your comments, Angelique. All right. So, oops. Just go up here. All right. So, Bunny might be trying to file down. Yes, Aussie Girl Chen, you're right. It's not Junior's fault. He's trying to file down his teeth. You're right. He might have a tooth issue or gum issue. You're so right, Aussie Girl Jen. And I know this about my darling bunnies. Thank you for reminding me of that. I do need to check him out because it's the same one. He's gained a lot of weight and he's been chewing things like crazy. So it's got to either be with the teeth, and that would be like the best case scenario. And hopefully it's nothing worse because I do love him. Come here, Junior. I'll show him to you. I held him once during a live and then I was like, kept like brushing his fur off my face at the time. But okay. So empeñada, there we go. Yes. I have a kitty who chews cords as well. Yeah, this was the worst cord chew he's done. Oh, okay. So moderators can't pin comments. Okay. So there's another level I can add you guys at, like behind the scenes or whatever. So I will do that after this live, especially the people that are here right now, Tiger Girl, Joan Bradley, Mama Jane D. I can't remember what it's called. And then next time we have a live, you can tell me if you're able to pin comments. Okay. So Angelica says, why did she set out to destroy this young family? I don't believe she was in love with him. Yeah. So why do you think that, Angelique? What tends to make me think that is, you know, the Google searches prior to her even working with him. And somebody actually asked me a question in comments recently, and I didn't get back to it. And I'm sorry about that. They said on another channel, it was said that the September 2017 Google search of Shanann Watts was a mistake. It was not. Well, at least according to D.A. Rourke, he himself said that that was not a typo, that was an actual search. So she was using him. What was she using him for, guys? And I see that being as a possibility. I'm curious what you think. I disagree. I think she was obsessed with him, Debbie. I tend to lean towards that. So let me just say what else Alex said while I'm reading that. Then I'm going to see if anyone else would be interested in coming up on panel. Then I can also give you a preview of my next video, which is going to go talking more about NK, and I'm going to tell you where it's going to go, because I think it's an interesting twist. You know, I'm not saying that I necessarily found anything new. I think that it's a culmination of work that I've been doing researching NK for a long time, put things together in a different way than I've seen. I'm just always very careful to, if anything, understate. That's just what I feel comfortable with. So Alex, the attorney's biggest, and now, by the way, he's been a criminal defense attorney for over 15 years. His wife also practices. I mean, he's just a passionate defense attorney. I think anyone who does pro bono work is. I mean, you know, because it would be very easy to turn in those unpaid hours for billable hours. So I always think that's a very generous thing. When you have a way of spending your time that would be more advantageous to your bank account, you spend it helping other people. I personally really admire that. So, you know, his biggest hang up, more than the nature of Chris Watt's plea and possible coercion there or duress. So if he made, you know, there's several ways that he could have, that there are several conditions that could have existed that would have made that plea essentially illegal and subject to a really easy appeal. So that would be coercion, duress. So coercion, like if you were convinced that's what you need to do, otherwise for a negative consequence. Duress, which is generally a condition of coercion. So, you know, duress is if you're signing something under duress, you're signing it under an extreme amount of stress. And then, you know, I think probably the most blatantly worst condition that could exist surrounding a plea deal would just be, you know, plain, I'm not even sure this would be called legally, but, you know, the conditions were completely falsified. I think that goes beyond coercion, that goes beyond duress. I don't know. So even more, sorry, getting back to Alex, he did see some issues with that. He said he doesn't know enough about certain facts, and he is right now taking a different route to try to get some information I don't even have my hands on, or I don't know anyone that does, so we're going to hold off a little and see if that happens. I pray it does. Even more than that, his big problem with Nicole Kessinger and her treatment, and, you know, he does believe that based on a lot of the things that we already know, destruction of evidence, manipulation of evidence, in some ways, because of what she did, destroying what she didn't, the way she was making it appear, falsification of evidence, that there very well could have been some kind of charges, or, you know, something that was a penalty against her. And the most shocking thing to him is the lack of any kind of investigation. The camaraderie between Kessinger and law enforcement, and the complete lack of investigation. And I was able to really highlight that camaraderie for him in a video clip that I heard the first time when on Dave's channel, and my upload failed on freaking, let's see. All right, so we're not going to get our video preview today, but that's okay. I'll just have to talk about it. This, you know, this is a bummer. And now the trick for me is going to be to get, you know, my internet service is like or cable or whatever is Spectrum. So getting them out here when I'm home is going to be a pain in the ass. Let's see. Variable frame. Let me just see something here, guys. Sorry, I'm going to be right back. Let me just make sure it's still connected. Disconnecting. Freaking bummer, man. Thank you guys for being patient and understanding from your comments. Oh, look, I'm connected to the internet now. So we'll give it another shot. So I'm going to have to, can't let this live go on too long because I've got to leave for work at 6:30 in the morning and it's already 11. All right. I'll just hold this here. Okay. Let me take a look at the comments real quick. So, oh, Angelica, I want to go back to you, my friend. So you said, I love your comments. I keep going to pinning your comments. You said, I think if she was obsessed, the murders would have been much better organized. I'm so curious as to what you mean by that. I'm still in shock that they can stop a clock because they had CW's confession and no evidence. Okay, so the issue of the stop clock is the clock was stopped. Yeah, I think you understand, Joan. The so-called clock was stopped when Chris Watts made the plea deal. Now, this to me is a bit of a which comes first, the chicken or the egg situation, right? Because the DA never needed to allow that plea deal to happen. A plea is accepted by the DA's office. A plea is not. It's not like a defendant puts in a plea and it's automatic, like that's what's going to happen. And they, at no point, particularly in a legal matter of this magnitude, needed to accept any kind of plea. They could have said, no, man, this is going to trial. We have got surefire evidence against you. We're not accepting your plea. We are going to put all that evidence out for the world to see. You know, there's advantages and disadvantages to each. Unfortunately, one of the big things that's always on the table is a financial factor. So yes, it costs less money to not try a case. So the DA's office can always say, hey, we didn't want to cost taxpayers that money. But I mean, it is my opinion. It's the opinion of anyone who has looked at this case in depth. It is the opinions, as far as I've seen, of anyone who has any legal knowledge, that this plea was very weak. It was very diluted. It didn't hold a lot of gravity. It was not going to stand the test of time and public scrutiny, right? As it is not doing right now. So the fact that the DA even accepted that plea was pretty BSy. So when the plea happened, the clock stopped, and the reason was, at that point, the state no longer has to spend money investigating or analyzing the evidence that they had collected, because a plea had been made. All that they need is a plea, or a plea does end in a conviction. It's a conviction, so someone is held responsible for these crimes. To me, the higher question in the eyes of the state would be, have we convicted the right people for the right crimes? And is everyone who was involved in this disgusting, egregious crime convicted? And if the answer is no, or uncertain to any of the questions that should be asked, they should have gone to trial, and they could have gone to trial. It was always to the discretion of the DA if they did go to trial. All right. So, hello, Matt Elderkin. How are ya? I feel for the families too. I know. Man, I definitely do think that with both families. I mean, I don't like what I don't know if I want to even go there. I feel deeply for both families, regardless of anything. It's freaking terrible, obviously. Let me tell the truth, yeah. So you notice not one friend came out to make a buck. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I think not one friend came out to make a buck because they were already paid off, right, Joan? Thankfully, there's no statute of limitations on murder. Right, Christmas girl? Oh, you my girl. I always love what you have to say. No matter how long it takes. Endgame, money, always. Yeah. You guys are so smart. You guys are the best. Joan Bradley says it's definitely pinpoint for Shanann. And they planning SW did have a stalker coming through. Yeah, but like, why? Hello, Muck Boys. How you doing? How far in are we? I was just able to join. Don't want to go back and be behind in chat. We've been discussing a few things, but Muck Boys, I'm not getting to everything that I had planned on talking about this evening, because I don't know if you saw my big mess of wires over here. I have some bunny chewed coax cable, which has never happened before. Oh, Pride or Honesty. Hi there. I hadn't seen you, but I just see Tiger Girl's comment. I haven't seen you in a long time. So nice to see you, Pride or Honesty. Let's see. Nope, I think this was a vendetta against Shanann of something we don't know about yet. Yeah, so Pride or Honesty, that's definitely, I know that's a theory that's out there, a theory of some people that I really enjoy watching and I really enjoy talking to. So Pride or Honesty, do you think that this goes back to North Carolina? And Pride or Honesty and whomever else, I guess my main question is, if we are saying, so let me read Pride or Honesty's comment again. So he says, I think this was a vendetta against Shanann or something we don't know about. Yeah, I like that yet. My question always is, if this was a vendetta against Shanann and she was ostensibly, trying to hide based on, some theories that I know people have, why, my question continues to remain, why would she go into an MLM business where, in order to run her business, she had to rely exclusively on social media? Like, that would just be really freaking stupid. I mean, maybe it was just really freaking stupid. I don't know. I mean, I think she did get, she did definitely have some financial problems. So open online, right? Okay, so I'm sorry. Is it Nana or N-A-N-A-R? I don't know. Yeah, I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing it right. Nana R. Exactly what you're saying. Being so open online is Shanann was check some sick. Oh well, yes, it's check some sick-minded. And NK was that too. With Shanann being so out there online, this might happen. And hi, Cat Whisper, how you doing? I'm reading on your panel. So let's see. So Cat Whisper, I don't have anyone on panel right now. I do have people in chat. So what are you talking? What are you referring to? And for the record, I have heard. Yeah, I know. I do need to get some sleep soon, Christmas girl. I have heard. Here's my personal thought on things. Okay, I have heard some different theories, and I remain open-minded. I believe that justice has not been fully served. The one person that I do believe was involved in some degree that has not had her taste of justice yet is NK. And it's for the reasons I have outlined in my videos and more. I think just her, destroying evidence the way she did, that could have been a criminal charge. Her lying to police about why she destroyed that evidence when it is clearly just based on a little bit that we know that we've been privy to through discovery can clearly be proven wrong. That could be a criminal charge. And when it's pertaining to homicide, these are hefty criminal charges. We're talking possible felony criminal charges, possible misdemeanor, depending on how hard they wanted to be on her. But that's where I sit. I am open-minded to the other theories, but I have not fallen on any side of the fence going really any farther. I asked Prater Ossie a question. Let's see what he said. He said, no reason to prosecute the case when the defendant pleads guilty to more murders than there are deaths. Damn. Yeah. So when I know, I've heard, Seeking the Truth with Dave say this before, that, he's not saying necessarily that Chris Watts is like completely innocent, but he doesn't feel that he is guilty or fully guilty. I'm not sure exactly what he would say to the charges that were brought against him. And, the nuance of the wording in there is very important. The charges that were brought against him. And that's a really good point. I definitely think the man is guilty. Yeah. So, yeah, I want to look into that a little deeper with my lawyer friend, the exact nature of the charges that were brought against him and what the implication is to the plea. So Marine Mom 351. I remember watching Shanann cook when someone popped on. Yeah, made her feel uncomfortable. That's right. It was in November. That was in November 2017. So that would have been like 2 months after we know that NK had Googled her name for the first time, right? Yeah, Jackie C. Hi, Jackie C, by the way. She says, I think NK thought she was going to be a media star first. I think so, too. Ugh. Sugar bee. Mary, you're the best. I call her Nicoleria Kissita. So funny. All right, you know what? Okay, so here's another couple things I want to talk about. Because my video failed to upload because I am all on hotspots right now, I can't show you a preview of the video, but some of the things I was going to discuss in the next video are this. And I will say it and I will say it again. And, people that have deeply studied this case might think that this is kind of like a pedestrian fact, but to me it is always the ringer for how in God's name could this aspect of Nicole Ketzinger not be investigated. That ping on 6/16, the morning of August 13th, I know it's been said 1,000 times, and I'll say it 1,000 more times. The other 2 times she pinged were on the 4th and the 14th, when we knew she was at the Watts house. July 14th being the other topic and the main topic of the video I wanted to preview today. So we're going to have to get together and do that later this week once I have Spectrum Cable guys come and fix my jam here. And also on the 18th of July, she did also ping in Frederick. So there were some things that were going on probably around the 18th that may have explained that. Neither she nor Chris Watts said that she was at his house that time. So, you know, like who knows? And I cannot remember what time of the day that was. I can find out quickly, but so, you know, that ping that morning, come on. I mean, it was half an hour after Chris Watt's truck was seen rolling out of his driveway. Next stop we know from GPS tracking was 3319, where the family was found. And like, that's not a deal. I will never, ever, ever believe that. I'm going to read a comment from Debbie here. She says, NK said she found it strange Watts wasn't in the basement when she called him on Sunday night. Then I thought, well, maybe he was waiting for her meeting Shanann. She says maybe she went over to see. I definitely think so. I think you're right on that. Muckboy says, Debbie, I think the 111-minute call was she places at home, drove to his house. I think so too, Muckboy. So it would ping. Yes, I agree with you. So it would ping in her area. That's why no one remembered the call and they didn't drive over. Right. I mean, a level of detail this woman remembers, if even to hear herself talk, right? And then when she's asked about the 111-minute phone call, she has virtually nothing to say. But then, you know, the next activity on her phone after the 111-minute phone call is, drum roll, please, the 6:16 a.m. ping. Seriously? I can't even. Yeah. So I'm sorry. Muckboy says to Angelica, you guys, I like the dialogue you're having. I think the reason why the murders weren't so clean was her plan was delayed. Chris backed out and messes things up. Yeah. Or, you know, I know that I've, the fact that Shanann's password on her phone changed, if that was going to be part of it. Now our boy Pride and Honesty says, I think NK's vendetta was for something new. She met Shanann somewhere, maybe a work gathering, and Shanann rubbed her the wrong way. And NK definitely has a vendetta type of personality. Heck yeah. Yeah. Pride or Honesty, I think I would be most inclined to go that route. I mean, I'm thrilled to see like what other findings people have that would be tying things back to North Carolina. And, you know, I don't, you know, anyone going down that route, I don't doubt that it's like a possible route. But I just keep going back to the fact that she knew her entire business was dependent on social media, and she really put herself out there. So if she was for any reason needing to lay low, I mean, Shanann, she wasn't dumb, right? She was not dumb. Oh, okay. It's okay. I'm Diana. Okay, Diana, thank you very much. Okay. I didn't want to say your name wrong. And then Angelica says, Muck, I think he may have backed out. Yeah. Oh, So at SW's funeral, Dave's guy was pallbearer. But it usually is the ones that are closest to you. Yeah. You guys are the best. Let's see. I know. Okay, so Joan Bradley says, oh, I keep forgetting to pin, and I've got to set you guys up so you can pin. I know that CW met NK at the gym before working at Anadarko. Is that true? I'd heard that. Is that factual? The Muck Boy says, oops. Angelica, I actually wrote down her interview by hand. Oh, dang, that's amazing. She says he was acting weird and she was looking for him. She was looking for houses and he didn't want to hear from her and he was different. Yes. Lazy dog was him backing out. Muck Boys, I agree with you. Okay. All right. So just a couple of other things. And then I'm going to have to be wrapping this up pretty soon just because I still have to go take a shower and get ready for my day job. Oh, but I love what you guys are saying. A few things that are previewing my next video, which I'm hoping I'm going to be able to put out tomorrow or the next day, my limited internet connection, is, something was just said that made me think about it. Okay, a few things. So a few of you, including Mary and a couple other people, and I'm so sorry if I remember specifically who it was, recently had given me information about that Toyota 4Runner, that white Toyota 4Runner that was pictured when NK and Chris Watts were at the sand dunes. And I think the conclusion was that it belonged to her friend Jim. Leave Jim alone, right? I've been slacking on my NK impressions tonight. How dare I? So yeah, but what we do know is it wasn't hers, right? So I just happened to be listening to an interview for this video that I'm doing right now that didn't have anything to do with the Toyota 4Runner. I was listening to a certain interview the other day, and Muck Boys, this is out to you since you handwrite those interviews, which I think is amazing. Because whenever you handwrite something, it really you really understand it, like on a deeper level, right? I wish I thought to do that this summer before I went back to school. And so I went through the one interview that I was looking at for research for this next video. And then a second, so it was two of her videos. And Kobach asked her, mirrored back to her for verification, so you drove your Toyota 4Runner? So, you dropped him off, you picked him up, and it was a Toyota 4Runner 17 times. Did you catch that, Muck Boys? He mirrored that question back to her 17 times. So I had never noticed that before. And it's thanks to you guys giving me a little more info about the freaking Toyota 4Runner that I noticed that. So, I think during the last live, we were saying that, like the balls on that woman to, tell law enforcement, when they ask what's your vehicle, to tell them the vehicle that's not really the vehicle that you primarily drive. I mean, wow. But then, so what was Kevin Kobach doing? What was he getting at by asking her, mirroring it back to her, the question 17 times, just that I caught? And I didn't even listen to all of the videos where he said to her, so it was the Toyota 4Runner you drove. Have any of you noticed that? I thought that was just pretty damn interesting. So Christmas Girl says, I find the ping is the most telling. Yeah. If she was at her home, her cell would have pinged at other towers before Frederick. I think she turned her phone off that night and turned it back on after the crime. I agree with you 100%. Joan Bradley says she was still very much friends with Jury South owners, but I don't know. Yeah, and her dad still worked for them. I don't know. That's just an area I don't have a lot of information on. It is true that her house was broken into, 2 times when she was in North Carolina. I have those Facebook posts, and I want to do a video about that too. I just haven't gotten there yet. I have so much I want to do. And guys, now that I'm back to school, the school year started, I've slowed down with my videos a little bit. And for those of you that like to see them, I'm sorry about that. They will pick back up. I'm just getting into the swing of things. And then I got these bunnies eating wires. Who knew? And then, hi, Beatrice. Beatrice says, it was confirmed that there was proof that Nikki was there that night the murders happened and killed Shanann, and the other 2 there helped as well. Why is she not in prison, or the other 2 people? Now, listen, Beatrice, I agree with you that she should have some charges brought against her. That and I'm not doubting the truthfulness of what you're saying. So when you're saying it was confirmed, there was proof that she was there along with 2 other people, and she killed Shanann, I would love to know what that proof is. And again, I'm not questioning its existence. I just personally haven't come across it. I think so much. Like I said, guys, I think, I think there is way more to NK than we know. I think that there should be, that's why I'm still in this case. I think full justice has not fully been served. And until it is, I'm in it. And in my mind, that is regarding Nicole Kessinger, possibly other people, definitely Kessinger. To exactly what degree, I can make a case in a lot of directions. And I just love hearing what all of these you guys think, and these very creators have done a lot of work on it, think as well. So Muckboy says, Joan, I don't think the Dirty South did it. Yeah. But because of the money they stole, DK gotcha, has ties to North Carolina. Don't think Dirty South owner had anything to do with it except his past catching up. Yeah. Dirty South has a dirty record. They do. I've looked into that. Okay, so Chris is covering. Beatrice says Chris is covering for all the people involved, and Nikki and I'm gonna pin this. Shanann, because she wanted to give Chris his first son, and Shanann and the kids they don't. Okay, all right. So let me just give you a little bit of a preview. It's gonna have to be verbal since my video didn't upload of my next video. So I just was looking at how many times Kobach mirrored back to her asking about the Toyota Ford Runner. I noted some of the instances where the relationship between NK and law enforcement felt way too freaking cozy, right? And then the main topic that Beatrice segued into me and Angelica did before so very well is and a secondary level, how Chris Watts responds to what both Shanann and Nicole Kessinger do or say, and how like indirectly they will respond to each other, but primarily in the instances relating to Shanann's pregnancy, and the most important date being July 14th. So we recognize that a lot of things happened on July 14th, and it was just recently when I really kind of strung all of the things together. We know that according to both Chris and Nicole Kessinger, Nicole Kessinger had an uncomfortable time at Chris Watts' house on that day, which obviously she should have, right? But that's when he says he talked her off the ledge, and she gives a different rendition of the story when, Dieter led her up to the upstairs. He put a gag around her and drug her up there on a chain. It wasn't her own will. The 6-pound dog, drug her upstairs. And then she said, "Oh, you have a beautiful life. You have a beautiful wife, and whatever." It was also that day when she made the statement that she wanted to give. And I also know Debbie's picked up on this date too, and Christmas Girl. Got to give my girl some credit here because we've been right on that. It was on that date when NK said to him, Chris Watts obviously, that she wanted to give him his first boy. So, kind of where'd that come from? Not she just wanted to have his baby. She wanted to give him his first boy. It was on July 14th. Okay, so Shanann originally posted the pregnancy announcement video, that oops, we did it again, that sort of awkward video. I think it was on June 25th. I might be wrong about this date. If somebody knows better than me, go ahead and correct me. I don't care. All good. Sometimes you guys know better than me. And it was the next morning when Nicole Kessinger sent the email to Chris Watts, and I'm looping back to what Angelica said about thank you for your honesty, right? So do we think that email was probably about the pregnancy? Well, yeah, probably. So, Shanann posted about it. The next day she sends him that email thanking him for his honesty. Well, on that day when they had that big kind of like disruption, it's the biggest sort of conflict that either of them talk about happened on July 14th. That was the day when Shanann posted that little cute little onesie and, you know, saying something about baby Watts, you know, not her baby, but, you know, baby Watts, clearly Chris Watts' baby Watts, you know, that all happened on the same day. It was also that same day on July 14th when Chris Watts did his longest Google search that evening. And all these details are going to be in my video. I don't want to make it too easy. I want someone else to come out with the same video beforehand. And, you know, I'd been telling you guys about, you know, my knowledge of yoga and things yoga after having studied it for 21 years in Sanskrit. That also has to do with most kind of energy work, including crystals. So I actually do know a lot about that crystal that he was researching. It was also on that day that two other things happened. And I want to wait till my video is out later this week to talk explicitly about them. But I think you're going to find these connections to be very interesting. So let's see. Joan says, Kelly, that breaking in makes Dirty South connection believable. Yeah, well, perhaps I think what it does definitely make believable is, listen, I say about Shanann, you know, obviously no one deserves what happened to her family. That's so effed up. I mean, to even think that is ridiculous. I think that, you know, if Shanann had been allowed to live her life, she would have matured and evolved as a person, as a mother and a woman, as we all do. You know, I'm 42 now. When I'm 52, I'm going to look back at myself now and be like, how foolish, young child. You know, now you are more refined. And, you know, I look back on myself when I was 32 and I'm like, oh my God, that was so stupid. You know, you live life and you learn. And it is an absolute tragedy beyond words that Shanann was not allowed to live her life and develop as a person as she saw fit. That said, I think those break-ins, something that it definitely does say to me is, you know, along with, you know, that purchase of that house and the stories of that house was purchased. I think it was possibly her brother, I think, that talked about, you know, how the developers that were building her house didn't really believe her. And then she came there with like a suitcase full of cash. You know, I think that she may have been involved in a business that was, you know, there was some shade to it. And I think she got involved in the shade. Let's leave it there. Oh, hi, Desired. How are you? Hi. So welcome, my friend. So Tiger Girl says that Muck Boys, you're a miracle worker. I really struggled with Ronnie and his mumbling. Oh wait, I'm sorry, Muck Boys. That's the name of the channel. Is that the name of the channel? If so, can one of my moderators please give him props and put a link to his channel? And listen, if I think that is the channel, and I am so sorry. I feel like a jerk now for not knowing that. Especially recently, my ability to even put anything on YouTube has been so limited. My ability to view anything has been really, really limited. A lot of these people know. Oh, you don't have a channel? So, okay. I thought you did. Okay, so Tiger Girl, riddle me this, my friends. Tiger Girl says, Beatrice wants my email. I'm going to type right here. Oh, thank you. Yes, it's yes. Watts Obsession. I would love to hear from you, Beatrice. Some people already typed it up in there, but so Muck Boys, I feel like Tiger Girl just said like you're like a miracle worker or something, like you demystified Ronnie's interviews. Do you have that material somewhere? Because his mumbling's a lot for me too. And you know what? I never asked anyone to come up on open panel today. Shame on me. I really meant to do that. I'm going to have to wrap it up soon. I just wrote Watt's voice. I was saying Muck voice at the same time. My brain is shutting down. Not really, but for the night. WattsObsession@gmail.com. Okay, that's my email. Okay. So again, so that's, you guys, that is the preview of, the next video. It's, I just noted is something to put out there, all the times that Kobach mirrored back to her. And I played some of the excerpts because it sort of like turns it into almost like a funny like beatbox. So like it was your Toyota 4Run, he just asked her 17 times as I counted. It's weird. And then noting all the times that NK and law enforcement were too cozy. I did go a little further into some of Alex, the defense attorney's conclusions that I mentioned here, but that he wanted said in a specific way. So I'm going to contain that into a video. So I make sure I honor his wishes. Joan Bradley, I hear you. I've got to go soon. Thank you so much, Joan. You're the best. I appreciate you. Thank you. And then, I'm doing that big tie-in with some of the events of July 14th and how we saw Chris Watts play off Shanann and NK, and then them kind of play off each other. The big boom is in the July 14th material, and I don't want to say any more until I put out the video because I just don't want to. I want to be the one who ties this together and puts it out for you. So not that I'm so like whatever to think people are like drooling to steal my material, because I don't think that at all. But I think what I have to present is unique. So, all right, guys. So yeah. Thank you, Debbie. I know I can't wait too. I'm gonna listen, guys, I'm sorry I rescheduled this so many times. Told you my son got hurt in football on Saturday. Had to deal with that. Sunday I was just trying to get everything done I was supposed to do this weekend. I took off of work Monday, which I never do because I had a stomach bug. And then today I had chewed wires. If you want to go back to the mysticism of it, go to the beginning of the video of this live if you weren't here for it. I don't know. But I will try to post the next live and I will try to stick to it. Oh yeah, I will also be doing I've almost forgotten. It is Subscriber Member Appreciation Month. So after this, I'm going to put everybody who is in here, and I know how to see that now, assign you a number and then randomly draw. The winner of last week's was True Gypsy, and I haven't seen her. So this is me this month giving back to you guys rather than, I don't want to say I have been. I'd actually only been monetized 1 month previously, so I don't want to exaggerate, but I donated half of the revenue to the Lupus Foundation. But this month, it's just going to go back to you guys. So if you were here at all in chat, I will put you in that drawing. And last week's, I didn't post in the community post until a couple days later because I fell asleep. I will post it as soon as I can. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to be real honest with you about what I can do. I will do these things. The time frame since I've gone back to school for the school year, I just got to be a little goosey with, because I'd rather, what did they say? Under promise and overproduce than over promise and underproduce, because I don't like that. So Jones guy, I know. Oh, love you too, Sugar Bee. Thanks so much for being here. Hey, Mary, you will take a look at Shanann's phone at the door when she came home. It's a camera in the girl's bedroom. The beds were empty at 1:48 a.m. I think she saw that. Yeah, I have heard people say that, and I haven't tried to take a really good look at it. So I will try to take a good look at it, Mary, because I think that you have substantial things to say. So since you brought that to the table, I'm going to look into it. Angelique says, Muck, don't you think that if NK was involved, she'd just drop him? It doesn't matter if he passed. Yeah, right. I don't know. You guys are the best. All right, guys, listen, I've got to go because I've got to go shower up and get ready for my day tomorrow. I will definitely do a live later this week. You know, and I will try to post it and stick to that time, especially so my moderators can be there, because you guys are amazing and I appreciate you so much. I will do that drawing. I will capture all of the people who are here after this and do that drawing and post it as soon as I can. Then if you were the winner, you'll have to send me like Venmo or PayPal or some kind of information privately over email. Okay? All right. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go because I have to go get ready for bed. But I'm going to let this chat run for a little bit. And if there's any moderators on here, feel free to keep moderating, because it looks like you guys are having a good conversation. So I don't want to cut that off. So I'm going to let that go for just a little bit. Okay. So thank you guys so much for being here. So look for that new video coming out soon. That's going to be some conclusions from my friend who's a defense attorney and a couple other things, NK. And the main topic is going to be the tie-in with a lot of events going on July 14th and extensions of those events, okay? Angelica, thank you so much. You were a really awesome participant in chat. Muck Boys, you too. Pride and Honesty, you too. Christmas Girl, Sugar, all of you guys. Matt Willis, thank you so much. You have been amazing. I appreciate you like mucho, mucho, mucho. And Desired, it was nice seeing you too. So there's two options. Yes, I love everything you guys said. All right, keep chatting. I'm going to peace out. I'm going to let this run for a few minutes. Thank you guys. You're the best. Love you guys.